historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. A galactic historian goes to each and every line of dramatic karma and lives in soul family with everyone, so they see the big picture of all of the karma that's going on in a local part of the universe.
The infrastructure of potential was there. You still had to connect the dots and use a series of free will expressions to get you there. There are also a number of people, the karmic doors closed them off to so much, all that was left was this Galactic Historian guy on the internet. People who listened to the Galactic History 1 and within a year went back to sleep because the world turned to be really shitty and no one woke up. None of the predictions happened. I understood as a higher soul that being in this time with the perceptive nature of the human I could be, attracting people to the material that a person had to open the door with.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Talking Stick Show. So I am your host, Dale Tobin, and I'd like to welcome this week's co-host. We have Two Feathers extraordinaire, Laura Massey, to the show. Hello, Laura.
Hi, Dale. Hi, Amy. It's really good to be back on the show.
And good to see you, Laura Massey. Yeah. We have the incredible Amy Kruzic music. Hello, Amy. How are you doing?
Hello. Hey, everybody. Yeah, it's been a while. Doing good. Good.
So this week we are back for the regular format. We have a live call-in show. So if you want to stop yourself being a chicken shit and come and speak to us and have a free reading, so the link is in the description as well. So guys, let's talk a little bit about the last few weeks and what's going on in the world. There seems to be a lot of chaos happening at the moment, doesn't there, Laura?
Chaos is everywhere, isn't it? It seems to be worldwide and maybe in our personal lives too, which is what makes it all the more important, is to get that reconnection to Earth Mother and get out there in nature and so on. But yes, chaos, but I think in a good way. If all that's happening in, I think the US is where to look, isn't it? I mean, the UK has got some stuff going down too, as a knock-on effect from Trump. But I think the US is, all eyes are on Trump now, aren't they? And Kash Patel and Vance and, everything that's happening there is really incredible. And if he does, half the stuff that he says he's going to, it's going to be absolutely world-changing and life-changing.
Yeah. What's happening over there, though? What's happening in the UK?
So there were protests last week after Trump got in office. There were protests here saying we want Trump. And Keir Starmer is landing himself in hot water. There's been a new political party formed called Reform UK, which is about time. We did Reform UK. And the farmers, they've been given a huge inheritance tax bill, which they know, and they pass farms on from generation to generation, so it's completely unfair. And there's also the Bovier, the Bill Gates Bovier that they're putting into the milk and dairy products, which people have found out about. And for me, the best place to find out all of this is X. I am a huge Twitter X fan, and I'm very little on Facebook. I have to do the X.
She comes in the room like this. The new yes. What's going on, Laura?
Yes. You know how Andrew says when you talk with your hands, you're finishing a spiritual connection, or you're making that spiritual connection, which I think is probably what I do. So
Yes.
and next Wednesday there's going to be a huge protest in London with all the farmers taking their tractors. So if it's anything like France, who sprayed their government buildings in fertilizer, it's going to be really fun.
That's going to be
yes,
I love it.
So let's talk about the word chaos then and look into it. So, Amy, what does chaos mean to you? The word chaos.
Ooh. It just means all the feeling I have of it is just spin, 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 spin. That's what it feels like.
Laura?
It's like you don't know where to look. It's like what's happening?
Chaos is for me like a new order, but I don't mean like the current term new order, which is like, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, like the global elite sort of thing, new order, isn't it? It's sort of a new way of doing things at the moment, or everything's got to be shaken up so that the shit, let's say it, the shit can come to the surface and we can offload it, have our separation of densities, move on, evolve as souls, evolve with the earth and so on. Chaos is needed, isn't it? Let's face it. Everything needs a shake up, otherwise it's going to get stagnant. And
nothing gets solved.
Everything. Yeah, nothing
gets solved.
And at times, chaos can bring ancestral balancing, and this is something to be aware of. If chaos is going on around you, it takes the inner self and the inner knowing and the wisdom to say, I am not choosing to go into my own chaos and go into a chaotic feeling or start being unbalanced and ungrounded. And this is important, having these shows, because these shows innately help you how to be a human. And me and Andrew and Laura and everyone have gone back and forth about how living the Muggle life daily. We've been having a laugh over the last few weeks because I've been living more of a Muggle life. And this is about blending spirituality and blending self-groundedness now during these times of chaos, that you have to turn off the spiritual side, you have to turn off X, you have to turn off these various platforms, still look at them, but there has to be some balance within the choice points of you actually making that choice to be a Muggle but to be spiritual as well. And I was so ungrounded for a long time because I was up, as Andrew says, my phallus was up spirit's ass for so long.
It was.
Do you want to talk a little bit about being over spiritual during this chaos and what that can lead to?
I missed that question.
Zealotism. Zealotism, and it puts you off kilter. And I think one thing to remember also, just rewinding a tad, is it's not so much what is happening, it's how you react to it. And the problem is, if you're overly spiritual, then you haven't got your feet on the ground. And you do need the right balance. And I know what you're saying, Dale, about you can't go, well, like what has happened to you. You can't go too far that way because you lose your touch with the world and with the earth. There's two things there. And also the fact that, you know, what we've all trained with Andrew and our sort of path is being the beacons of light here. So if anyone remembers Andrew's teaching on the celestial medium of peace, the only way it works is you get yourself grounded into Earth Mother energy so that you can download and send back what you when you finish. So you take your downloads, your celestial downloads, your touch with spirit, or whatever you want to call it, your interaction, and then you go back to being grounded again. And you slowly unpack and unravel that wisdom so that you can use it on Earth. The whole point of being on Earth is to be on Earth and make the changes on Earth. And you can't do that if you're off in other dimensions. Fun though it might be.
No, you can't.
You need to be here, don't you, Amy?
I do. And I have to say that I really like being a Muggle. Mm-hmm. And I do. I think I know, right? I've always loved it, but yet I had that spiritual side that needed to come forth for that help, you know. And so chaos, when we got going back to chaos, it's like you do almost need that chaos. You need that humanness in yourself to come out for karma, for whatever reason it is, so that you can write it, and learn from it and pass down the traditions and pass down the ancestral wisdom, because otherwise you're not going to. Because I used to be like very in control, like I don't want chaos in my life. No, I don't want, no.
Yes.
So I would hold tight to it, right?
Yes.
No. And it doesn't work out. It's still gonna come at you. So
Yes.
yeah.
So as well, it's for me and my journey. So over the last few weeks, I've really been honing in on muggleism. So I'm starting to fish. I'm starting to support a football team. Started to jog. I've started to do all these physical things because for so long, about 12 years ago, when I went into a marriage, I was just a father, but I was spiritual 24/7. Even I had my days off spirituality, but I lost my hobbies. I lost playing cricket. I lost doing certain things because I was so far up the spiritual stick. And from the many sessions I've experienced and a lot lately, many people come to me with the same thing constantly going on, is that they do nothing unspiritual. They don't have a hobby. They don't have something non-spiritual. Every day is just connect to spirit. And I'm obsessive like that. Like I have to literally stop myself, write a schedule and say, right, this is your hour. You're being a muggle. And we've even got a muggle name for me called Steve. So what we want the audience to do, and this is
Steve the Butler.
get yourself a muggle name. So everyone listening now, make a muggle name up and start bringing muggleism. And me and Andrew and Laura, like, Andrew was talking about this, and we were literally laughing our head off because we were saying living the muggle life daily and bringing all these, making life great again and all these great things. Like,
making muggle life great
Yes,
again.
making Muggle great, yeah.
Okay, my muggle name will be Tabitha, because remember we were just talking about
That's a cool one. So I think if I can make a suggestion, Dale, one way to keep you grounded is that you do all the washing up.
yes. Doing Steve's work. Then David who comes in, so Steve takes time off. Then this David takes over as well. So we all have characters we're playing, but these characters are to help us and learn from muggleism, because being here and being part of our body is we are creating this dream and we are weaving this dream from the spirit world into this flesh vision here now. And this is dancing the dream and bringing the grandmothers through the fingers, learning how to do painting if you've never done painting before, or learning how to sing. So bringing all of the spirit and data into this reality, but as well still being here to enjoy muggle life, still going out and having a conversation with someone, having a beer with them, having a chat with them. Some people you may not agree with, but learning the listening skills is vitally important here. So many people are ignorant and so many people are that stubborn. They've lost the ability to have communication skills. And this is something I advise for everyone out here. In your next conversation, start observing yourself. Start observing how you interact with people. Start observing if you look away and start to be disengaged from them. These are some parts of us we have to start working on because it's so important. Like Andrew talks about the character flaws, seeing your own character flaws. Mine's been escapism for so long. And so I have to really hone in. But you have to have escapism as well. Sometimes, like 2 hours a day, I'll go and escape. I'll go out into the universe, or I'll go into the past, or just something for a bit of fun. But it's then coming out of that and being here and having that structure. Anything you want to add, Laura or Amy, to that?
It's just like you were saying earlier, it's having the right balance. Because we don't want to discourage people from having a daily practice either, because having a daily practice is fundamental to what we teach. But what you're talking about is when it gets out of kilter, right? And particularly in these chaotic times, you can't make that escape by going off into other dimensions. You actually have to be here so you can ground the energies. And that is really what you're saying in a nutshell, isn't it? You want to be here to provide some stabilization, both for your own energy field and you could say for those around you, because other people will get put into fear. And one thing us three here have learned is you don't want to get put into fear by anything that's happening. But a lot of people will go into fear. So we need to be the grounding energies for them as well, I think. I mean, not without treading on anyone else's journey, but just the fact that your energy field vibrates and goes out and does affect other people. So you're of no use to anybody if, yes, you have that spiritual stick all the way up your backside, as you said, Dale. But it is absolutely getting that balance. And nature is, we're always saying this, nature's such a huge part of that. Getting out, getting the sun where you can, and so on.
And that's it, Laura. Great words there. And also as well, observation of the body. If you're lowering your frequency to someone, that again is accepting ancestral karma. Obviously, you don't go out and infringe on people's energy field. You don't go out as an empath, but you still maintain and hold a grounded frequency now. And if you go up to certain people and you have to lower yourself for them, actually write that down and observe it. Because at some point in time, there's been some ancestor or you in a past which has given away power or slavery or something like that, which is underlining ancestral karma coming through for you as data. So it's all about you being aware with regular family members or friends. When you go there, see trigger points of programs. If these trigger points of programs are coming through you, that's data for you to be aware there's some underlying stuff to work on. And that's you not being in your core power in this present body. And I've had this with my mum and my various family members where I'd lower my frequency for them. I'd go around them and I'd have to lower my voice and lower myself. And I'm just falling straight into ancestral karma there. I'm not resolving what's needed for us of bringing this dream into this now moment in this body, but not being obsessed, not stepping on people's journey, but still being present as a way shower. That it's important to show the fullness of your energy field, to show the fullness of your voice. And for so long, I've been held back from giving my power away in past relationships to people and so on, that I've gone through this tuning of my own self, where I'm realizing that everything I need is inside me. And the great teachings Andrew, my mentor and one of my best friends, has taught me over the last years is getting me to be me and knowing that me is good enough for this world and that everyone has to be themselves. And that's the best gift we can give to this earth at this moment in time, is to be yourself, to show your own sword and start regaining sovereignty at this I am aware now level. And this is, obviously, we've got a team. We've got Amy, David, Joel, Laura, all behind us. We're showing you a way to have fun in this reality, to not be overwhelmed or not be a zealot or not go into ego, not go into competition. Like everyone here, we want you to succeed. You want us to succeed. That's a way of unity and that's a way of growth.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Yeah.
So chicken shits out there who still haven't come in the Zoom.
Yeah, it's very.
I get a little sign at the back. Chicken shits, like, flashing.
I know.
If you'd like to have a reading with our team of experts here, all you have to do is click on the link in the description to join our Zoomy Roomy and join us for a chat. Even if you don't want a reading and just want to have a chat to us about anything in the world or just about your dog or about your cat or anything like that, feel free.
Yeah, come and talk to us.
Come on in, guys.
Amy, what's new in your world then? How's UCM and everything going?
Yeah, it's going great. We are, I might as well say right now we have a webinar coming up this Sunday, the 8th, at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. David, he designed this Spirit Pro app that you can use to as an assistant to your revocations, invocations, sermons, prayers. He's going to teach everyone how to use it, and he's going to and it's a completely free webinar, so anybody is welcome to come up and do that. What else? It kind of, like, for me, when I use it, it's kind of cool because then you can add your own personas in it, or your own, the way you are into your revocations. So you just add to it. To me, that's how I use it. It just gives you kind of like, if you're stuck and you need something, it kind of, to me, helps me, like, yeah, if you just put in what you want it to be like you can put in like Jamie Sam's type of teachings. And
Oh,
then
wow.
that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then that'll bring up like how she speaks, because I love her and how she comes across. And you could do that, and it'll help you. Like, oh, this is what you want to write about. Yeah, like the time of change. You could just write in the time of change. Give me a prayer.
Yeah. Have you done some? I'd like to see some of these. I'm really excited.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know if I printed them out. Oh gosh,
Yeah,
now
do
you're
some.
putting me on the spot. I
No,
gotta
no.
see. Darn, I know I do, but I will look. Yeah,
So it personalizes your like revocations and so on.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like it brings. I mean, David. He brings every probably Zen person out there that's written things
Mm.
and puts it all in there. And from the Bible, I mean, you could do your sermon if you're, if you're a priest, or what else do they call them? Priest. That's all I know them by. Reverend. I don't know.
Vicar over. I don't know.
Vicar. Yeah.
Over here, yes.
Yeah. You could write a eulogy, which would be actually, would you guys ever write your own eulogy before you die? Would you want it? See, I think I would. I think I'd like to write my own eulogy. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I don't know. I know this is maybe a morbid subject, but it comes across my mind, guys. I mean, and I just heard somebody say about death, it's like you can't not talk about it. Because when you
Yes.
don't talk about it, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
would you
that's
would you rather be
we've done
buried?
two. Sorry,
Go ahead.
we've
Buried.
done death shows with Amy, haven't we?
Yeah, we
Yes.
have done
Yeah.
death shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is something that you can learn from, but writing your own eulogy, would you do that?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Okay.
I've not given it any thought.
So I've
No,
got a funny story here that just reminded me of my dad when I grew up. He turned around to my mum and he said, "Just to let you know, if you cremate me, I'm gonna come and haunt you." It's like,
no.
I want to be buried. My words, I will haunt you if you cremate me. It's interesting. That just reminded me of it then when you were talking about it.
I think it's important to have that plan of how you want to be, right? I don't know. Why am I talking about this? I have no idea. But the Spirit Pro. That's the Spirit.
Yeah. The Spirit Pro.
The Spirit Pro. Yeah.
Sunday at 3 p.m. EST.
Oh yes, Sunday 3 p.m. EST, and you can sign up through the UCM community at community.universalcitizentv.com. And you have to enter into the community to sign up. So yeah, there was another link, and I don't have it. David didn't send it to me. So
Thank you, Amy.
yeah. Anyways, that's happening. Anything else? There's classes going on in UCM right now. Counseling class.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Doing which, yeah, you and David, beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Really informative in a fun way. That's what I really like about it. Like, I'm laughing most of the
Oh
time.
my God.
David.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so fun, and you do learn though when you do like personas like him and I do. It's like, it's just really funny, and he just makes it fun
Yes.
to do class.
And what a superb way, these online courses are an amazing way for people to develop their skills. So if there's one thing I think we all owe ourselves, is that to keep learning.
Yeah.
Keep
I love
learning,
that.
keep self-educating, how it doesn't matter how old you are, there's always something to learn. And even if it's something creative, I say even if, creative's like amazing, isn't it? Because that's when you really start weaving with spirit and finding your passion and doing things that you love as well.
It is. And the simplest
creativity, whether it's writing or pottery or like that. But I think just to advance yourself and your soul this lifetime. I mean, there's so many opportunities out there now, aren't there, to do online courses, especially through David and Amy now at UCM.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead, Amy.
No, sorry. I was just going to say something about the creativeness. I forgot. But what's funny when you said that, because of decorating for Christmas, it's like every year, that's my creativeness. It's like I put everything in one big tub and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna decorate this year, but like, it's fun to have spirit around and
Yeah.
fun, like put it there, put it there, put it there. It's just different every year for me because
So, Amy, you have some new friends behind you as well. I
I
know it.
do.
Yeah. So you want to share as friends?
Okay, so these are my friends. These are my friends. I just thought that my purple sparkly wall needed a little bit of added, life to it. And I'm in my basement and, I need life down here. So I brought them along and my crystal is an apophyllite crystal. And then I just have some, oh my gosh, what do you call those ones? Cactuses.
Yes.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
so yeah. And then I had to balance it. I mean, like me, I have to balance. I have to put something over here now. I brought blown glass, have you guys ever tried that? That would be fun. I've never tried it.
No,
No.
not blowing. No.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So much we can do.
so much, right?
Can anybody ever be bored in this life?
No.
Always amazing
I'm
when people say they're bored. How can you be bored?
I know you can't. I'm never bored ever.
No, let's do this situation. You're in a room, you get fed, you get watered, and you're walking around a room on your own for 4 weeks, just with lights on. Would you
Could I get bored?
No.
No, because
Well,
no. I mean,
I'm gonna put somebody in there 20p on you'd get bored.
I've thought about this actually, Dale. Would I get bored? When you see it on TV and you're like, how could they go into that? What do they call it? When they go into a dark room.
Confinement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I do it? I could do. I'm guessing I could, but if Andrew was here, he'd be like, "No, you couldn't."
There you go.
Andrew.
Bored. No, I'd be fine. I'd be in bliss. Those 4 weeks, I'd be sitting down, eyes closed, smiling.
Oh, I'm gonna.
With a hand.
Was it Nelson Mandela? Somebody they put into solitary confinement, and he had no problem with it because he spent the whole time using his inner vision and his imagination and so on.
That's what I mean. I don't think.
So
I mean, I could look at my fingers and be like, "Oh, what do you want to do today?" I don't know. I mean, you can make up so much stuff. Like you could count.
Laura, I've lost an hour already. 2 hours.
With me, I would struggle. Yes, I like to be outside. It would do me good.
Yeah.
Probably, but not. I won't need 4 weeks.
I mean, maybe 4 weeks. I would
do
be
4 hours.
That's so funny. That is a challenge. I mean, okay, maybe I couldn't do 4 weeks, but I don't know.
It's a long time, 4 weeks, isn't it?
4 weeks, but you wouldn't even know what time it was.
Yes.
No. That would be weird.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like an hour went by and you think, is it tomorrow?
I guess you would really develop your spiritual connection then, wouldn't you? Now she goes stir crazy.
I mean, think about it when your lights go out for like 6 hours. It's like, oh my God, I don't have internet. I don't have anything.
Conscious is like, oh, where are you? Where is my knight in shining armor? Oh, there you are, darling.
You could count the beard hairs in your beard, Dale.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
They're all chicken shits out there. Nobody's even come on to have a chat. Where are you all?
Where are you all? So the Zoom link to come in and have a chat and have a free reading is on the description. The Zoom link, just come in and speak to us. You all may be in holiday spirits out there.
Yeah.
We dare you to come and have a nice chat to these friendly folk.
Oh, I got a question. Ready? I knew I had a set of questions here. Okay. What can you do today that you couldn't do a year ago?
Right. Play guitar.
Yes.
Yes.
That's mine. Ukulele. Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah.
With the ukulele.
Laura?
Sit still for more than 5 minutes.
No, Laura, think about the computer. Come on, think about it.
Oh, I know. Yes. So there's many things. I can
Yeah.
get my spices off of a spice rack on the wall.
See?
Couldn't do that a year ago.
You couldn't do that a
Yeah.
year ago.
Couldn't be bothered to cook myself.
Yeah, for that, Laura?
Yes, go on.
Andrew had to literally push you.
I know. Yeah, I think certainly my
You did-
computer skills have got better. Hopefully my presentation skills have got better. What else have I learned over the course of a year? I have found my voice more. Like Amy, I think Amy would say that.
Me too.
And I think Dale would say that too.
Yes.
When I look back, or even 2 years ago, to our early shows, when I got stuck. I don't often get stuck now. It's more likely like, how can we shut her up? Oh, the hug and Karen moment. Yeah, I've got
that will be forever legendary, and one day we're going to dig that out and watch it on.
Oh yes, yeah.
Wait, what is the Karen moment? What is that? Was that a show you did?
The Karen moment. We did the revocation of the Karen show.
Oh yeah.
And Andrew put it to everybody: if you had a Karen in your midst and they were rampaging, what would you do, or what would you say to them? And I said I'd go out and give them a hug. Because I was in full light worker mode momentarily. Yeah, because we do slip back into that, and I know you can't knock everything that's light worker, because let's face it, all of us, especially Dale and I here, have had very similar journeys with our light worker take on things. And we're not saying there's anything wrong. It's part of the journey, isn't it? It's part of the journey. It's just you realise the zealotness in that.
It's when you get lost to it. And obviously, that word zealot is being the zealot, being the martyr. But it's when you become ignorant and up your own arse that all you see is light, and you don't see anyone's point of view, and you don't actually listen to someone's point of view. All you see is it has to be light and this and that. And I had a hard time dismantling that light worker. But when I started using like all the materials, prayer, revocations, fire ceremonies, and I actually started unwinding my own voice and creativity of blending the prayers for how I want them to be as well, listening to Andrew's stuff, but going to then start doing it myself, and having that framework of sacred neutrality, which again is so important during all this, finding balance with the words, but not being so far in the light that it just sounds like a light worker salad, like like the old Doran Virtue days, Laura Massey and all those.
Oh my goodness, yeah. The thing is, it's being that far polarized that you lose the balance and you lose the neutrality. And it's only in this present moment, in the neutrality, that you can read the Akashic records and so on. You can't read them in whatever form you read them, because we all have different ways we read the Akashic records too. Some are similar and some aren't, but you can't read them if you're out of neutrality. So light workers tend to be focusing out of neutrality, because they're usually on, as I was, some sort of mission. There's something to prove, something you want to tell somebody, you must be heard. You know, you've got this conspiracy theories. I'm not knocking conspiracy theories. I'm saying if you just go down that very narrow pathway, you're missing the neutrality. And therefore you
creates a sacred energy where you're not entangling with karmas. You're not entangling with a karma over and over again. You're actually seeing information from the neutral point of view, so you can assess what action you're going to take moving forward, which isn't going to cause polarization or someone getting upset or causing chaos. So we all have the awareness that we can go into sacred neutrality. It's about us seeing the programs for what they are. And once you start working on the programs more and more, that sacred neutrality becomes more of a normal state. And it's all about deterring the programs, because the programs are what take us away from that sacred neutrality. And they are here to be teachers. Each and every program we have is a teacher. We have to see it for what it is. Even within the darkness is there to teach us certain things about ourselves. How can we hold our own light within the darkness around us? How can we see the inner darkness and not get overwhelmed by it? This again goes into sacred neutrality, about working on all of these parts of in the past which were depressed, suppressed, angry, upset, in rage, or had to create this armoring around us or escapism in order to feel secure and safe. And going to those words, the shaman's death, and Andrew talks about feeling safe and secure and going back to those old shells. We all do that. I do that. I go back to old shells and I have to go, I'm doing it again. I'm falling back into my escapism way, which was a way for me to feel secure. And we all have those parts of us. And if you say you don't, I don't believe you. We all do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
So let's look at patience related to this as well, because part of the sacred neutral is a non-agendered position, right? It's not weaponized into any particular point of view other than to accept or allow the information to flow through you without changing you. And then when you're in that space, you also, it seems to bring the patience that's needed, because especially me, we're all like we are in a do world. You know, we do want to achieve things, we want to tick boxes, we want to do this, that and the other, and the more you creep over to there, the less you are in that neutral space, because the neutrality also means everything happens in the moment, doesn't it? We haven't got our energy in the future, we haven't got our energy in the past, we've got our energy in the present moment where all our power is. And in there, patience is a big lesson too, because we want to go out and make things happen all the time. And one thing I've been learning over the last few weeks is, you know, I have to remind myself as how I used to be more of co-create with spirit in the present moment and allow it to unfold. And this is also relevant in this chaos as well. So it's relevant to have a sort of a patience when you're in this neutral centered view, that, and a knowingness that great mystery, great spirit will work through you, all in divine timing, they say, don't they, that for things to happen. So it might look like, you know, yes, the world is in chaos, we can say that, and we don't know what's going to happen, and a lot of stuff's coming up. But staying in that neutral position is very valid, I think, at the moment, to have that patience and to allow things to unfold.
So, and that's it, is sacred neutral is a compass choice now. So it's using that compass to pinpoint the now present moment, where you have certain amount of data and information streaming around you in a form of polarization, which is caused by outer realities of chaos. So it's all about the I am awareness technology to understand that you have the I am choice to whether to go forward into that chaos and be part of the chaos, experience the chaos, and kind of like play music with it, because it's playing harmony of music. And once that chaos plays that harmony of music with us, towards us, we can either be out of our body and go into the chaotic mode, or we can start fine-tuning and using this word solace. So finding inner solace within the busyness around you. So say there's music going on around you don't want to listen to. You start creating a light energy within you that there's this silence music going on. And it's all about knowing that silence is a song as well. And a lot of people struggle with silence moments. And there is actually things you can do in meditation where you can start bringing light of silence really highly into your body and start just hearing the silence. And that musical note just coming through you, the silence of the universe. So it's all about whether you're going to jump into another song or you're going to keep your own song. And it's about determining what is your own song. Is the people projecting at me, or is the people entangling with me with their poison chaos song? And I'm sucking that bitch up. I'm taking that as it is and going, I'll have it, come throw it on to me. Or am I going to understand that I have a level of awareness, as Andrew talks about, responsibility and awareness must meet, and we are responsible for our own selves. and realizing we have other selves out there as well. We have an orchestra of our other selves. At one point in time will be available for us to work with, to actually work in union as an orchestra with them, to understand we have all of this different galactic information or different realms of different notes which can come to us if we start being silent and observing us. And this is the power we have. We all have so much power in this world. And once we turn the chaos and turn it down and start going into neutrality and start listening and going into silence and moments of nothingness, from that nothingness of great mystery, everything has potential to be discovered. And that is stepping into the great mystery, the unraveling of the unknown becoming known, going into the valley of the self and saying, I am ready to declare my own music now. I'm ready to sing from my heart. I'm ready to start painting, start using tapestry, my fingers and my feet, because I've been there. I've been out my body, and I've had great advice from friends and mentors to help me start grounding my creativity here now, because that's what was needed for me. I was one word Dale at one point, and now I'm a trillion word Dale. So it's like, you can't this guy up now, he just can't talk. It's like so
That's good.
all comes down now is to choice, that everyone, there's no hierarchy here. I'm not better than you, Andrew's not better than you, Amy or Laura isn't. Yeah. We're all on this together, and it's about taking this pedestal shit away. Once the pedestal dissolves and you go through that shaman's death of the pedestal moment, which I had with Andrew and various people, that shows you the illusion you're living and the delusions you give to yourself. Putting people on pedestals is one of the ways away from unifying yourself, away from empowerment, is seeing someone on a pedestal. And I had Andrew on a pedestal for so long because I used to listen to his shows 12 years ago and had him. I listened to all of his shit hours and hours a day. I'd listen to all of his stuff. I'd know it pretty much off by heart what he was going to say. Then all of a sudden I'm doing shows with him. So I had that moment of having to, oh, now he's one of my best friends. He's just a human being. And these illusions and delusions of ourselves create a false reality around us. And we're all fucking human beings. We're all here to have a laugh and be we're all muggles. We're all Steves and Davids.
Tabithas.
Yes, that's it.
So what's our, for people, what's our responsibilities at the moment? Is to stay grounded, to not go into fear, to be the best version of ourselves that we can be through however we do that, to stay neutral.
Yes.
Yeah.
But take on that responsibility as well, recognizing you're responsible for your own energy field.
Yes.
Yeah.
And seeing that chaos as irrelevant to yourself when it needs to be. That chaos is there just as information, and not obviously sucking on the nipple of chaos, but going into self-mastery and understanding, of how great we are. And going back to Native American teachings out there, and I've been really deeply connecting to my elders and ancestors in my lineage with all these natives from the past, being listening to flute music with Laura and just being able to sit down and smile and just feel like I'm part of the lodge. Like I've got all these friends around me and we're all part of this lodge community where we're building this dream. And this is why creating new fabrics of dream is important, because a lot of people walk the old rainbow bridges and the roads they had in the past. I've done this many of times where I've been walking past life bridges, but now we have to be aware we have to make new rainbow bridges, new weaves, learn new things, new guitar, elevate ourselves until we start creating this new dream and new weave. Because a lot of us create these weaves which are kind of like, what's the word? It's repetition, but the repetition becomes too much, where it's just the same shit all the time. It doesn't grow you in as much as it did.
Yeah.
That new growth has to be there, and the new dream. Laura, Amy, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, what I was feeling when you were speaking was know your personality, know what your personality is like, because I know my personality is I need change. I like to change things up. Like I'm kind of like Renaissance in that way, where I'll have 10 projects at a time, which looks like chaos to some people, right? But it's not to me, because I have to do that. I have to go from one thing to another, right? So if I don't have the same personality as my husband, who is very like, he's I'd finish this first before I go on. No, I'm like, give it to me all so I can see it. So know your personality. and know
Yes.
what the flaws are, and know that and love those flaws. But if you're tired of the flaws, what about when you're just tired of doing the same old thing, repeating the same patterns and repeating the same, it gets tiring, right? So it's like you got to have that change. Like just switch it. Just switch it. I mean, it's hard to give advice to people who don't have, it's not hard to give advice to people if they're asking for it, but it's like you guys' personalities are different than mine, right? And yours is different, and you two are different personalities, but you learn to work with it, right? So it's like that. It's like a marriage. It's like, okay, we got to work with this, but only if you want that change, correct? You can ignore the relationship, but I think just knowing how the other person is helps in knowing yourself. Does that make sense? Knowing
Beautiful.
how,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's on top of that, it's believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Know yourself, believe in yourself. So many people, and I've been there too, and I probably still do it sometimes, is they don't actually believe in themselves. There's the meek part. There's all these different sort of shafts we have, all programs running. And one of the responsibilities is to look at what is running you. Look at those programs that are running you. Know what is this really serving me? Is this serving the path I want to walk now? Is this part of my contribution now? Because this is the way we're going, isn't it? To these great changes that are coming up. You know, you can say, well, it's not the best time to start a business. Maybe it's a really difficult time to start a business, but also there's going to be a lot of people who need help, whether you're sort of a counselor, you know, dealing in trauma and so on. Andrew always said the world will need 1 billion healers.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this, you're obviously, you know, slightly invested in Andrew's work anyway, if everyone's tuning in now. So do it. Like we said earlier, now's the time to develop your skills. Do the webinar on Sunday with Amy and David. And don't be scared of taking your skills out there. Absolutely don't. Just take them out there, because they're going to be of help to somebody, because your experience in this world is unique. What you have been through is unique. And many of us have been through shaman's deaths, or whatever you want to call it, dark night of the soul, whatever. We've had these huge learnings that are going to be able to help somebody else. So in whatever form, hone your skills and keep learning, keep acquiring new skills, so that we can build communities, because that's where it's going. Build communities that support each other and help each other develop as individuals. On you know, we all have our own red road to walk, but we're doing it alongside our brothers and sisters, and we're there, you know, we're there to help them too, to help each other. So there's nothing wrong in keep on being creative. Put yourself out there. Don't take on other people's projections that you can't succeed. Find every avenue you can, and trust in Great Spirit and Great Mystery to help you as well. Weave your dreams with them. Work in both worlds. You know, work in both worlds. Get the ancestors involved.
Yeah. I love that. And that's why I think David did start the community because of that, to bring the spiritual people together. It's kind of changing. We have the spiritual people, but we're changing to kind of like health and wellness, which is this kind of same but different. And so, you know, I think it's just like find your community. I like how you said that, because that's the support network that you're going to need.
Yes.
When chaos happens.
Yes.
Yeah. And as the, dare I say, as the deep state breaks down and the mass conglomerates and things change, you know, we could start looking at more community stuff. And I'm going to say this is one I saw on X. Somebody was saying, we need these mobile shops. Like over here, we used to have milk. We called them milk floats. They were milk carts, like little electric motorized vans that went round and delivered milk. I don't know whether you ever had that in the States.
Yeah.
But we had that for me growing up. And then they started to sell orange juice and other things. And what somebody's come up with an idea is, why don't we introduce that, but with all the natural stuff, the non-bova, the non, not doing this cow injection stuff to stop them producing the methane and all that rubbish, and just have local produce on a van that goes around locally and sells things like a mobile shop. Well, that's bringing back something that, was maybe 30 years ago or more, probably longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
But it works. It brings people together, doesn't it? I mean, you have mobile fish and chip places over here, or burger vans and so on. You could do shops like that. And then you cut out the mass supermarkets and you're able to sell local produce to local people.
Not for the MP, Laura. Come on, let's do this, guys.
I mean, I think it's great that we can reinvent what's been invented. Why, just make it better.
Yes.
Really, all we're doing is making it better than it was, or introducing something new to it. Yeah. Like they have pet grooming vans that go around and can groom your pet right in your driveway.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like the milkman delivering milk. So
well, exactly. I mean, that would be so cool to do that, to sell local produce, and people probably love not going to the supermarket, especially David.
Especially David. David does not want to. Although, and COVID opened up a lot of that, like call in your groceries, like you can do it online now, and you can go. So, I mean, you don't even really have to shop anymore. Go out and shop. So
no, you don't. I was looking at bypassing the mass chain supermarkets, which is a big thing over here at the moment with what's going on with the milk and so on and the dairy industry. They're looking at how they can get the organic local dairy produce out there, because most people don't know when they go into the supermarket which one of these will have the bovia in and which ones won't. So that's just an example, You have
local farms? Do you have local farms that have their own stores? Yeah. They have their own stores. Yeah. You can get milk.
Yes, actually we do farms, but they're quite a way out, some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not always convenient, and we do live in a much more convenient world.
Yeah. Milkmans. So we had milkmans who used to drop your milk on the door in these glass bottles, and you could order like orange juice and chocolate milk as well.
Yeah.
And these were like 6 a.m. and me and my friends, when we did all nighters, used to go and try a bottle of milk from the side.
From your neighbors? Did you get it from your neighbors or down the street?
As well.
Anybody's. Dale wasn't fussy.
Those kids are at it again. That's funny. You made someone's day. I think it's kind of funny when you do that. Yeah. I think it just mixes things up, right?
Yeah. There was a place as well that where I used to live when we did the all nighter. There was milk, and my friend used to grab some, like, there was a bakery and they used to put hot bread out, but they used to have like the crate outside for like 10 minutes. So you got all these kids in the morning. Yeah, I'm on the way to school, sniffing the fresh bread, running and grabbing one.
Yes, we had a pie factory that it was like deep in the woods, or weird. It was weird. We could go through the woods to get to it, and we'd be stealing pies. They're just these little pies that they would make. I know. It's terrible. 1 a.m.
Laura,
you're muted.
I'm
muted. In the States, can you grow your own produce and put it out to sell?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's not in the winter. That would be great if they had that for the winter time, like, a greenhouse or something that could go around and bring you fresh berries and.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's winter veg here, isn't there? Like potatoes and stuff like that, I guess.
I don't see stands then. I only see them in the summer.
Yeah, but it's community. Dare I say it? It's like community living, really, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This is it. So, and Andrew's talked about that. This is something to talk about as well, is talking of community and I think before we get on into bigger communities, we have to be more responsible for our own inner selves. And this is from obviously being in communities and so on. When there's so much unhealed stuff within you, if you think you can go into a community setting and it be all right, you're tricking yourself. And this is what you find with communities. And I know Andrew's talked about this many times before about society, people coming together to create all these light worker communities or vegan communities, and all of a sudden they start fighting and falling out because none of them have actually done any inner work. None have actually have learned to live with people and respect people's choices and listen to them and keep to and so on. Like, we all have our problems. I have my personal problems. Everyone does.
Yeah.
But like, me and Laura living together has been the funniest thing ever. Like, we laugh at each other.
Yes.
We talk like we just talk about everything, and we don't get angry or don't get annoyed, and we just laugh and take the piss out of each other the next day about it. Like,
And you eat all the cakes. Look, he doesn't know what to say now. He's lost for words. If he wants, to stop me talking, just accuse him of eating all the cakes. It's not true, and he feels he has to defend himself. I think rewind a bit here. So community living, let's not look at like you go and start a commune.
No.
Community living in the terms of like maybe the mobile stores that it's out creating the system is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
The other thing I say about community living is when you force something, it's a forced evolution. So if you just allow it to naturally co-create, naturally develop, organic development, which is what's happened here where I live, and then Dale coming, and then like Rich comes to see us and Bob comes to see us, and we have our fires, but we sort of go our separate ways and do our stuff and come back together again. And there's other people who are gradually coming in the periphery, and we're building a community, if you like, a sort of community here of like minds, of people who we do our inner work, but we also do pick each other up on things in the nicest possible way, not projecting. No, we tease each other. Teasing is a good way also of keeping each other on the level. And that's how it works well, because we keep each other a little bit on our toes. But also there's the understanding that you don't always get within your own family, because there's a soul family sort of reunion going on here. And I think that can naturally happen when you are all working with spirit. Spirit does it for you, doesn't it? It organizes it for you, for the right people to come into your life.
That's it. And so going back to Muggleism as well, going out there and being part of communities or hobbies where you're with regular Muggles and you're forming relationships with them as well, because they can teach you a hell of a lot about yourself. So when we talk about communities, we're not just talking about spiritual communities. We're talking about groups out there. You can go and speak to people around your area, sorts of friendship. And something I've been evolving through, like meeting various people who aren't into spirituality and go, wow, I really enjoy spending time with you. I enjoy being a Muggle.
Right?
Spiritual snob, are you?
It completes a circuit within us, that this circuit of the balance between both sides of, we have the spiritual blended awareness and we enjoy it and we live the sacred path, the sacred life, but also we have that human side of us where we can really home in on that and enjoy it, and it completes balance and groundedness in us. Like if you're out there and you don't do anything not spiritual, then there's a serious stick up your ass. So you've got to start removing it and get a hobby, learn something new, have fun. Go out for a beer if you've not drank in years because you're that spiritual, you don't like alcohol. Try it, have a tiny sip, I dare you. Yeah. Obviously, reason, but sometimes our parts and pieces of ourselves can be so rigid and stuck that we've actually stopped having fun and stopped smiling and laughing.
So true.
So, Amy, let's if you want to talk a little bit about your hobbies and how that's grown you and grounded you.
Wow. So, yeah, I mean, I learned from my grandmother how to sew. So I, do quilts. I piece them together. I love the geometric shapes. Like I'm working on one for my son and his wife that I haven't done. You're muted, Laura. You're muted. Oh, okay.
I love that. All good.
Yeah. So I've learned that, and then I do that. I do watercolor. I do painting. I mean, I kind of do, plus voice lessons, ukulele lessons. Like, it's just when things inspire me or something, it just comes to me. Like you said, spirit just like, try this. I'm like, yeah, why not? So there's really no trepidation or fear about it. It's like, let me just try. And even doing Zoom or shows, it's like I was scared to death. I was scared to death. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna say something so stupid. Oh God, why did I say that? Like you, of course, judge yourself, right?
Been there, done that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a hobby of mine that I do. And I love just working with children. I mean, I've done that. And I have my nephew's kids that I work with. And it's just so different for me now, which is really cool to use the spiritual side for the kids now. And just kind of like they get it. It's so cool to see how they get it so quick. And how they can just use their imagination. And it's just amazing to me. So yeah, I'm trying to think what other hobbies do I do? I mean, what other hobbies? Painting. I mean, I just do all the art stuff. I like all the art stuff, collage, all that, clay. I love to do pottery, like all that, kind of like hands. I'm like a hands kind of person. I love to
Yes.
use my hands. Yeah, I like to use my hands. How about you
Beautiful.
guys? How about you guys?
So
Dude.
we are at the hour. So why don't we do something fun and let's have a little bit of a prayer time.
Okay.
Prayer time.
What we're going to do now is we're just going to go around and just say a few words and let's talk about living a human life.
Ooh.
So I will begin. In this engaged moment of the now, I express the fullness of who I am to be grounded to my tippy toes, to my fingertips, so I can really feel my awareness now with my voice and my spirit action. I enjoy and love living the Muggle life. I enjoy the human experience and meeting Muggles out there. I take the spiritual stick out my arse so I can meet more Muggles in the future. I can have a drink and share a beer with a Muggle. Amy?
Okay, so grant us the wisdom to embrace our humanity fully, so that the joys and the sorrows and the triumphs and failures can come forth.
Beautiful.
And help. Yeah.
Thank you. Laura?
Beautiful. And grant us the wisdom to recognize the absolutely amazing beings that we all are. Help us to recognize our inner wisdom and our connection to our ancestors, which is where it all began, and help us to co-create both with you, Great Mystery, Great Spirit, with the universe, call in our ancestors and realizing that us, feet on the ground, Muggles here now, are here because of what our ancestors did, are here for our ancestors, and we owe it to them to carry forward joy and enthusiasm and happiness in our human bodies, enjoying every day the best we can, making the best we can of absolutely everything despite the chaos, and living the best life and being the best version of ourselves in co-creation with Great Mystery and Great Spirit, and tuning in always to the ancestors without getting lost, but making that a beautiful weave, a beautiful co-creation, so that what we are is a living prayer on the fifth world of peace. Aho.
Aho. And may we enjoy this Muggle moment of the now, and may we share the peace pipe of the Muggles, and may we bring the smoke of the muggles deep into our lungs and our knowing that we are here to live the muggle dream. We are here to experience all different varieties of muggle living. And we are here to smile within this muggle dream, to accept muggle living as our champion selves step forward now. The muggleness is here to be experienced and to be weaved so we can bring joy, laughter, and happiness into this realm of the forgotten. So the forgotten become remembered, and we have to meet those forgotten people at their levels at times, but really we're not at their levels. We have more of awareness, but that's fine. There's no competition there. But being our muggled, grounded selves, joy and happiness is one of the greatest things we can do for this world. Expressing the love for someone, expressing listening to someone and their needs, and asking for help when we need help. That's one of the biggest evolutions humans going to go through, is asking for help. Taking all of this solidified stone around us away and realize we have to ask our friends and family for help when we need it. And I have been there so many times. And now it's time to talk the talk and walk the walk and live muggle life daily. Aho.
Yeah. Aho.
Let's make living on Earth great again.
And teach us, dear muggles, how to walk this path of life with humility, courage, and grace.
Oh,
right. Because they teach us so much. Ho, ho, ho.
I love that shit, trying to go a different direction with the prayer.
Right?
To go full ball spiritual deep. I was like, I'm going to have to go somewhere else on this. I can't go. Yeah. My little self Steve coming in as well there.
Steve.
Well, just think, Steve, I'm nearer to the fridge where the cakes are than you are.
So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to wrap up the show today because we have a lot of chicken shits, but that's fine. What a great show. And so Amy, Laura, how can people get a hold of you and for these and so on?
Okay, so you can join the UCM community at community.universalcitizentv.com. And if you would like to talk to me or email me, you can email me directly at Amy. I finally got an email, guys. Amy at universalcitizentv.com. So the UCM community has free resources, meditations, AI tools that David designed himself and built himself. You have some free access to that. We have live certified classes. What else? Oh, plus the webinar, the Spirit Pro webinar is coming up this Sunday, December 8th at 3 p.m. EST. You can find that in the community.
Woohoo! Thank you, Laura.
If you'd like me to help you live a joyful life, regardless of all the chaos around you, then you can contact me for a session, laura2feathers@gmail.com with the number 2. Also, our pain management clinic with Dale Tobin and also Richard Winter and Bob Anderson is opening, or we have a soft launch this month, and then we're opening fully in January in Ammering in the south of the UK, very local to us. We also have special rates on a very lovely Airbnb locally, if anyone from the US wants to come over, because within the pain management concept, we can still do a form of combined healing, which is what we started out with Andrew. We have the Lucia light, we have the pulsed electromagnetic field therapy mats, and we have many skills between us. And we love it because we are making a difference to people's lives. And that's one of the things we came to do. So just to let you know, the website for that is thepainmanagementclinic.com. So look us up. And thanks for a great show, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. And if anybody would like a private session with me, I am offering a new healing, which is called the Bear Lodge reading. And so basically, if you'd like me to read during a Bear Lodge, so what I'll be doing is setting up a sacred space and being able to go deep into your inner lodges of selves. So be understanding what parts of you are stopping you from growing. So I'll be able to go into all of these various lodges you may have forgotten about and give you some kind of data to help you. And I'll start reading the ancestral lineage as well, because one of the thing about the Bear Lodge is understanding the father and the mother's lineage. So I'll be able to go back within the father's lineage, mother's lineage, and so on, and understand how the karma is changing your inner lodge. So I'll be able to speak to you about the karmas of the past and what's happened in the past and what you can do to create in a sacred lodge. So if you'd like, and I'm offering 20% in the last few weeks of December. So head over to daletobin.com if you'd like to book a Bear Lodge dreaming session with myself. And I'd like to say again, thank you, Amy, and congratulations for all the great work you've done over the shows. And you just, it's an honor and so fun to work.
You too, guys. Aw.
Laura as well. We love you, Laura.
Yeah, Laura.
Feathers Massey. She's going to be having 20 feathers at some point all around.
Thank you, guys. Wonderful show.
Oh, thank you.
And everyone watching, please subscribe, like, comment, and we'll see you next week.